Happy week 15. Fantasy football playoffs are here. Well, of course, if you had Kyle Pitts, it already came. And if you faced him, you're on an uphill battle. But it's all right. We'll get you through this for sure. Before we start at the top of the hour, I do want to point I made a post on the X yesterday. And I think this is one that's worth sharing with everybody because something to think about. First of all, you're in the fantasy playoffs. This should be fun. You're competing. This is your team. Do what you need for your team to be what you want it to be, whatever that means. But here's what the point I want to make is I get questions, and most questions are really, really good. But then you get the questions where they're too cute. So first of all, I get it. Everyone wants the highest score. Everyone wants to run the table, and that's what I want to do too. And we're here to optimize your picks. But when I get questions like top four quarterback who's playing at a high level, has a reasonable matchup, let's say Drake May. And then I'm getting questions comparing him to like the long end streamer types, the Marcus Mariotas, the players that are definitely quarterback 18 to 20 against top four. Yes, last week Shedeur Sanders was the overall QB1. I doubt anybody on the planet started him. He was in a vacuum, he was the best quarterback choice of all 32 quarterbacks, but you're not going to start him. And my point is this: if you're asking a start sit question, and it's one where you're going to ask me Drake May versus a complete streamer, the answer is going to be no. Now, if it's your team, you do what you want. But if you're going to ask me the question, I'm automatically going to say, how do you sit Drake May? Because the litmus test is this: Tuesday morning, Cubs around, you lose your game. Drake May scores you the normal 18 to 22 points. You started Mariota. He could have gotten you 30, but he got you 7. You lose your game. Do you kick yourself? And that's the question. And I think just ask yourself that. When you do the lineup, you said it. Will you kick yourself on Tuesday if it backfires? And if your answer is, nope, I won't, then go ahead and do it. Your team, have fun. That's the most important thing. But I'll tell you this: I would rather be lucky than good. And if you got a gut feeling and you think luck's on your side, roll those dice. Roll those dice and have fun with it. Because again, at the end of the day, this game is fun. This is your team. You do it the way you want to do it. But again, if you're going to you've asked me questions about a strong starter who's been contributing all year long versus somebody who's a wild card, I'm always going to tell you to start the stronger choice. Jonathan Taylor, that's a different story. He hasn't been good for most of a month. Players like that, you might be rethinking. And all right, let's get to the questions. Start a little bit early here today. All right. Got a couple super chat questions from Scott coming in here. Scott, sit one, PPR, DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, Wandale Robinson. It's tough with DK. For whatever reason, the Ravens chose not to bracket him, and teams have been doing that. They've been bracketing him regularly, kind of taking him away. The Ravens kind of played him straight up, and Aaron Rodgers hit him on a few go balls. Now, Miami has a pretty bad secondary, and DK, whatever the stomach issue was, he's fine. He didn't miss any practice time, so DK's fine here. I don't know that Miami is the defense that's going to have this great bracket plan. So it's kind of tough to sit DK, but DK's been bad for 5 of the last 6 weeks. Wandale has a floor. Wandale always has a decent floor. His floor is better than DK's, but he hasn't had many ceiling games, but DK hasn't either. Jacoby Myers, you kind of got to play, right? I mean, Jacoby Myers, every week, he is a big part of the game. But now they're playing the Jets, and it's possible they run, and they don't have to pass a lot. All those are in play. But Myers has been so solid, and if Trevor Lawrence is going to throw a touchdown, there's a good probability Myers gets it. I'm starting Myers, and it's really a coin flip on Metcalf and Wandale. I would lean to go to Metcalf because I think he has a better chance of scoring a touchdown. Miami cornerback room is really bad, and I think that's where I would kind of draw the line on that. But Wandale is very reasonable with Metcalf to flip him because I do think the floor is a little bit safer, but I don't know there's a massive ceiling here because there's a lot. Everybody, that New York-Washington game, both teams could run, and it could be 13-10. Or it could go 31-28. And that is one of those games where neither of those would surprise me. If you have a feel that the game's going to be 31-28, you're playing Wandale. All right, Scott, you got another one. Ramondre, David Montgomery, Zach Charbonnet. And what does it say after that? Start one. All right. Montgomery's interesting this week. Detroit struggles against inside zone runs, and the Rams are really, and actually the Lions are really good, even with the offensive line issues. Montgomery is potentially able to deal with that, but his touches have been down. He got by on 6 carries last week against Dallas, had a long touchdown run. It's up, but Ramondre, cannot trust Ramondre. Cannot trust him. They're playing Buffalo, and I know Buffalo is a defense you can get to, and it's possible. Do not trust Ramondre Stevenson. If he puts the ball on the carpet, he could get benched. I just can't run with him right now. Charbonnet, they're playing Indy. DeForest Buckner did not get activated from IR. I don't know that Montgomery is a lock to get more work than Charbonnet. They both have an equivalent chance of scoring a touchdown. In my rankings, let's see exactly where I have them. I got Monty at 27, and I got Charbonnet at 32. I do think that there's going to be more scoring in the Detroit Rams game, which is why I put Montgomery a little higher. It's a coin flip. I would give Montgomery a slight edge because, again, the Rams do struggle with some inside zone runs in there, and Detroit is very good at those. One more super chat. Mark Aram Show. TD only 6 points for rushing, 3 points for passing. Hurts or Stafford? Look, there's going to potentially first quarter 50% chance of snow. It does go down throughout the game. There are a lot of ways. This could be a game where they want to get Hurts on track and he throws 4 touchdowns clearly in play. He doesn't run anymore. If you've noticed it, he pulls up. Anytime there's a run, he just slides before anything happens. Long term, that's a real problem for Jalen Hurts for fantasy. And it's starting to really come into his bottom line. Stafford's too safe here. Stafford probably throws 3 touchdowns here. He could throw as many as 5. Detroit, both safeties are out. Terry and Arnold's been on IR. Pass rush really is unlikely to rattle him. Even if Adams isn't 100%, I would think Stafford and your TD only would be the way to go. Even and Hurts isn't rushing for a lot of touchdowns. That's the problem. They're not running him a lot. So I think Hurts has a crazy upside potential. But man, that Philadelphia offense has been a problem. So I would start Stafford. But if you let's say you really need a massive game, I would probably roll the dice with Hurts and then take my chances that he gets 2 tush pushes and runs in and then, saves your day. And then your opponent has Saquon and Brown. Yeah, I probably wouldn't make that a factor. All right, live questions. Let's see what we got here. All right, next one. All right, need pick 3. CD, Diggs, Watson, Tet, McMillan. And you need 3. 1, 2, 3. Pick 3. You have 3 of them. Well, you have 3. All right. Well, you're starting. I'll just rank. Oh, there's 4. Okay, I'm sorry. There's 4th one there. All right. You can't bench CD. Watson has been a high floor every week with ceiling. And of the other 2, here's your decision. Tetairoa McMillan, he will get you double-digit PPR points. He does I think one game he hasn't. He will get you 10 to 14 PPR points. And if you want that safe floor, you start him. Diggs has the potential to have a big game here. He did the first time, over 100 yards when he faced his former team. So Diggs is your boom bust guy because if they don't need him and they run and they're having success running, they might not throw a lot. So Diggs is your volatile if you got to swing for ceiling. But if you want that safe floor play, McMillan has been that every week. And then let's see here. For running back 2, Monangai or Rico. I have them close. Rico's 15. Monangai's 19. Here's the thing. If you bet on Monangai, you're betting on the fact that the Bears are playing with the lead throughout, which they may. And once the Browns lost Malik Collins, I think you can run on them a lot more like we saw Tony Pollard do last week. So that said, Monangai, they have to have a lead. If this game swings weird, then all of a sudden he doesn't get that workload. So Dowdle, though, did not do well against Carolina. Panthers only had 3.1 running back yards per carry against New Orleans. New Orleans is a really good run defense. So I think Dowdle is your safest play because he's going to be the lead and get volume per Coach Dave Canales. Monangai, I think, has more upside because if the Bears do get this lead and control it, I could see both running backs getting at least 16 carries in this game. So Monangai is your upside play who could be the closer for the Bears. But I think Dowdle is safer. All right, got some super chat questions here. I got to put the glasses on here. The vision is just not what I need it to be right now. All right. Lesson of the day: don't get old. All right, mark that in there for the time on here. Let's get back to our super chat questions. We got 3 of them. All right. So Zabby, I see you put that in. Thank you for that. But there's no question attached with a little blue bubble underneath. You'll see when I click the next one on, they come with the question attached to them. So I am very sorry. I don't have a question attached, so I can't answer it. Michael, all right. For example, you do PPR, you're starting Dowdle is running back 2. You need a flex between Hubbard and Pittman. I don't know, maybe you mean Mike Evans there. I'm not sure. All right, but you're starting Dowdle, and you need a flex between Hubbard and Pittman. So Hubbard, I'm learning this. There's 2 ways he's gonna have a relevant game. If Dowdle struggles and Hubbard is playing well, Hubbard will be the hot hand and he'll get the work. The other scenario is when the Panthers trail, he's their hurry up back. So that means that he can say, I do not see the Saints racing out to a lead that's going to force Carolina into a heavy pass script. Pittman, of course, has a terrible matchup. His quarterbacks have a terrible matchup, but the Seahawks probably have a big lead. Indy probably has to throw the ball a lot, and Pittman is the one receiver who can work in tight coverage in the short area of the field. I give Pittman the edge here. That Saints defense is for real against the run. They are really a good unit. All right. Trucker Sean need 2 of 4. Burden, Coker, Vele, DK. I do like DK here among this group. DK's playing the 49ers. The 49ers offense should have little problem moving the ball, especially through the air. They should be able to score a lot of points here. Tennessee's going to trail. The 49ers will give up passing production. I do like DK here. Of the other 3, I think that the Coker one is tougher because, again, I think the last time that Young played this defense, he threw for like maybe 124 yards. He had 3 games with more than 206 yards. There's just so little passing production other than those 2 crazy games. Starting a secondary receiver for Carolina, to me, it's too risky because they're so low volume. Burden, I don't think the Bears are going to – the Bears don't want to throw the football today. It's sub-zero wind chills. They're going to be able to run the ball on Cleveland. I don't think they're going to throw more than 18 to 20 passes, so I don't like Burden. I'll go with Vele there. Vele is the third option. He gets targets, and so I'm going with Vele and DK there. And all right, caught up on Super Chat. All right, see what we got next here. All right, find the next question here. Oh, wow. All right, here we go. All right, next one. Hendra, good morning to you. Need a flex from Addison, Booty, Mitchell, Spears, Vele. I like Spears here because the 49ers, I anticipate they get out to a lead. When they fall behind and they have to throw the ball all day, Spears gets a lot of hurry up work. So that puts him in a great spot. Of course, the game script has to go that way, but I don't see why it wouldn't. And outside of that, there's really no safe plays here. Booty probably gets a deep shot or 2, but they have to connect. Addison, he does have a couple 10-point PPR games, but again, with JJ McCarthy, it could just easily be a 2 for 14. So we got to be worried about that. So I would basically go with Spears in this one. All right, next one, Ferguson. Yeah, I know. He apparently is okay. It was limited Thursday. He didn't practice Thursday. Anyway, he came back Friday. Apparently, they're not concerned, but I get the fact that you are. Andrews and Likely both have a great matchup. Last time when they played Cincy, Andrews had 4 for 40. Likely had 6 for 95, and he dropped that touchdown. Likely could have had 2 touchdowns last week. Either of the Baltimore receivers are probably better options than Ferguson right now because they're playing Miami. So it's going to go either way on those Andrews and Likely. Likely's been hotter. Andrews, I still think, is going to get his. Andrews, you know what? I got to ride the hot hand. Just go with Likely. He's been hot. If your gut says Andrews, go with that because both tight ends could do well here. But Cincinnati, they're just the worst. So that's the way to do it. Yeah, I know a lot of people ask Parkinson questions. I get it. He's on a little bit. He's just a guy, and you have other players. Not just you, but everybody. I will never board the Parkinson train. I just don't see them saying, you know what, we got to get the ball to him. I think it just happens when it does, but that's just me. All right. Big Meech, good morning to you. Half PPR, Brian Thomas Jr. or Hubbard. So You heard me talk earlier about Hubbard. I think he's a hurry up back, and I don't think they're going to need the hurry up offense in this one. There is a chance he takes the hot hand, but New Orleans has been great against the run. And Brian Thomas Jr., I know it's real tough to start. 3 for 87 last week wasn't bad. They were able to get him on the perimeter. The matchup can't be much better than the Jets, though. And I don't know how much they're going to have to pass here, but I would be inclined to give Thomas Jr. the edge here, especially in half PPR, because Hubbard, I think if he's going to do more damage, it might be as a receiver. So I think that kind of minimizes him a little bit. So Thomas Jr., they were taking shots. It looks like they're working. Carolina or Dallas defense, that's always a tough one to call. Maybe the Dallas defense, if they get a lead and they're forcing McCarthy to play from behind, they might be able to make some money. I don't like either defense. I don't think either defense is going to do much here. But I would go with the Dallas defense by a little bit because in case they get a lead, I think Carolina and New Orleans is a closer game throughout. Delroy start 1.5 PPR. Waddle, Watson, McLaurin. I gotta have Waddle as my highest ranked player here. It's gonna be cold out there, but TJ Watt's out, and I gotta check this as the final report goes on. But the Steelers might be down Cam Hayward, they might be down Derek Harmon. Those are frontline guys, but that makes it easier for Tua. But I do have a Jalen Waddle higher. Christian Watson, his matchup is a little bit worrisome with Denver. On the snaps, he's on Patrick Surtain, which would be some. I don't know how many. I don't think he wins that battle frequently. Terry McLaurin is a fine play as well. I got him a couple spots behind Waddle. But again, both teams could possibly run the ball on the opponent. So the passing volume, this game could go 38-31. This game could go 13-10, this Giants-Washington game. And this is the game that conflicts me most. So because I don't know where it's going to fall. I have no idea where this game's going to fall. And so Waddle to me has a floor, and he's had a floor. He had one, occasional clunker in there, but there's nothing scary about the Pittsburgh matchup for him. So I like him there. Ferguson or Juwan, I will just say this. Question before too, and I've got Ferguson in the league, and I'm a little bit concerned with the calf injury. He's apparently okay, but if it clicks up, it's a problem. And Jake hasn't been scoring great the last 5 games. He's like 8 to 11 points, and that's right where Juwan Johnson's been. And remember, Juwan Johnson had his best game of the year against this defense about a month ago, week 10. And he was like 4 for 92 and a touchdown. I think Juwan Johnson's back. He's healthy. Even I have Ferguson ranked a little bit higher, but I have the injury tag on him. And because of that injury tag, I might say if you don't want to risk it, start Juwan Johnson. But if you're willing to take a chance with the calf, then you can roll with Ferguson. I have him ranked higher, but again, is it worth it? I don't know the upside's that much higher. So probably the safe play is probably just going with Juwan Johnson, who's been good floor for about 6 weeks now. Kevin's next. Half PPR, Singletary, Pollard, Monty, Brian Thomas, Pittman, or Franklin. You need 2 of those. Singletary's getting you about 14 touches a week. Nothing scary about this matchup. Pollard, look, last week was beautiful, but he's been horrible all year, and I just can't think that he's going to do something again. It was a one-off. I just think it was a one-off, and I know that clouds our thought. Montgomery, 6 carries last week, but the matchup isn't bad for him. Brian Thomas, you heard me talk about him a minute ago. I probably would go with Singletary because those like 14 or so touches a week. And again, there's nothing scary about his matchup. And Brian Thomas, hoping they continue working him. Pittman has a bad matchup, but he should have a decent floor. Franklin, I know he's going to get more work with Bryant, but they really are souring on him. And I don't know if they're going to go right back to giving him 8 to 10 targets a game because they relegated him for a reason. So I would not want to take my chance on him. And he's got a tougher matchup. Tight end, Johnson, Schultz, Goddard. Goddard has a bunch, like 3-4 point games like in the recent past. And so he really has lost that touchdown upside. Now he could go off here, of course, but predicting it's kind of tough. And I know he had a good game Monday night, but I think Juwan John, they're all close. They're 11, 13, and 14, and that's really a tie because they're on that bucket of tight ends. But the fact that Johnson had the 4 for 92 and a touchdown against his defense before makes me think he has a matchup advantage. I'd give him the edge. So, yeah, that's the way we'd look at that one. Got another super chat. Let's get back to that one. Mark this off, and let's get rolling. All right. Let's see what we got here now. Super chat. Here we come. All right. We got Tucker next. Rico Dowdler, David Montgomery. So again, Montgomery had 6 carries last week. His matchup is okay. Inside zone works well against the Rams, and Montgomery runs that fairly well. But Dowdle, I think, has more volume potential. Starting out this game should be lower scoring and close. And then again, they only ran for 3.1 yards per carry against this defense in week 10. I think they have equal chances to score a touchdown. So I think all that said, it's possible that in a must-win for the Lions, we even see more Gibbs than usual. So I would give Dowdle the edge here. And again, both are risky because if Hubbard gets the hot hand and Dowdle starts out slow, that could go south. But the fact that Dowdle is going to start the game in the lead role is something Montgomery doesn't have going for him. And then Juwan Johnson or Tyler Warren, I have Juwan Johnson at 11. I have Warren at 10 with the downside tag. I don't know what we're going to see with the Seattle defense. And I think with Phillip Rivers was quarterbacking back in the day when simulated pressures weren't a big thing. We're dropping players into coverage out of weird spots. This is all like a recent reaction. This is going to be a new world for him. I would think Juwan Johnson's safer. And it's not like Warren's been tearing it up anyway the last month for fantasy. So Warren is downside. I have him ranked a spot higher, but there's real downside here. So I think Warren is up for like 2 more fantasy points than Johnson. But if that downside tag hits, you could see a 2 for 10 and call it a day. So I would probably just go with Juwan Johnson and say, you know what? Love the matchup for him. We got Fabian next. More than you. Need one. Swift, Devin Neal, Marion Hampton, or Sutton. I got to go Swift here. When the Browns lost Malik Collins, I really noted last week, I thought that would be a ding to run defense. Everybody says it's a pass defense. I thought it was run defense for him. I thought he was like an anchor inside. And I saw Tony Pollard go for $160 on him. Sub-zero wind chills. The Bears are going to run. They don't want to pass. The Bears never want to throw the ball. And this is a matchup where I think they're okay. So I think Swift gets it done here. I like him better than the other three players. And then Gesicki, Waller, pickup Barner. I don't know how much Seattle's going to have to do on offense here. They're going to get Jackson Smith and Jigba taken care of. They probably have a lot of success running the ball. DeForest Buckner's not back yet for the Colts. So, and Waller's splitting targets with Greg Dulcich. So there's that. So to me, and I know Gesicki didn't have a great game. He didn't do very much when they played Baltimore on Thanksgiving, and I know Higgins was out in that game as well. I still like Gesicki here. They're going to need him. He's like a glorified slot receiver for them, and I think they're going to need him a bit here. So I'm going to go Gesicki. Looked really athletic last week, making a number of beautiful catches. All right, caught up on the super chat, and now we go to the next set of the stream here. All right, let's see where we left off. I think we're off here. Jeff, playoffs, 3/4 league. Oh, playoffs in 3 out of 4 leagues. All right. Well, good. Great. Well, good. 2 buys. Very nice for you. Thank you. I'm very glad you come here every week. You're making the great decisions. I'm just here to give you a little bit of things to think about, right? All right. Big question. Caleb or Sam Darnold? You're the underdog. Both quarterbacks are in a situation where they may not have to throw a lot, but I'm going to say this. Sam Darnold early should get it done. No Charvarius Ward, no Sauce Gardner, Jackson Smith and Jigba catching the ball. Again, with Caleb Williams, I am very concerned the Bears are not going to throw the ball today in sub-zero. What they're going to run. That's their team. So I think Sam Darnold gets the edge here. Where did I put him in rankings? I put Darnold at 19. I have Caleb at 16. I probably should put the downside tag. I usually don't put a downside on a 16. It's why I don't go put a downside tag there. But I should just add that now. Usually when they're that low, downside doesn't matter. But there's a lot of downside for Williams here. So I would go with Sam Darnold, even though I have him ranked lower, because I think that if Williams may only throw the ball 18 times. And if he doesn't run here, if he doesn't run in a touchdown, it's a problem. So, yeah, I think Darnold's safer than Williams due to game script. All right. And then Delray, I got some super chat here. Hang on. Let me get to those. Appreciate those that use that super chat function. All right, see where we're at. James, I noticed that there's a empty green bubble. That's usually where the questions go for this. So I don't have a question to answer, and I apologize for it. It would look like this, where I see where Rick, and then the bubble has this question underneath. That's the only way I can find a question with the super chat. So I apologize that I'm not answering your question because I don't see one there. All right. So Rick, need 3. I guess that means PPR, right? Ladd, Diggs, Walker, Jennings, and Watson. You need 3. I know Ladd was down last week, and I know that offensive line's in a mess, and I know that Spagnuolo is going to probably send a lot of blitzes. I still got to roll with McConkey here because I expect him to get some targets. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to score some points, so I think that Chargers have to throw the ball a bit. I love Juwan Jennings matchup. It's tough to run on Tennessee. Now McCaffrey's nursing kind of a back injury, and he hasn't been efficient as a runner. He's been a great receiver and gotten enough done on the ground. So I think there's a big passing game for the 49ers. So Jennings has been playing well. Do I like Jennings? Don't really like Kenneth Walker. I mean, he always gets you about 8 PPR points. He's right around there. He's an occasional week where he finds the end zone. But not really excited about Kenneth Walker in this matchup. Indianapolis is very good on the outside run, and that's all that Kenneth Walker wants to do is run outside. Now, can he make a play? Sure, he can, but I wouldn't bet on it. So for the third one, Diggs and Watson are close. I got Watson ranked significantly higher, but or not. Is this significantly higher? I got Watson at, let's see where I have him. Got to find you on here, Mr. Watson. Oh, I am 19 with the downside tag. And then I've got Stephon Diggs at 27 with upside. And that's where your decision comes in. The upside tag is he had 100 yards against his defense before. If they decide to feature him, he is going to be just fine. And on the other hand, Watson been playing great, but on the snaps he's seeing Patrick Surtain, I don't know how much he's getting done on those. I don't know how many snaps that is. Could it be all of them? Maybe. Could it be a quarter of them? Maybe too. So that's a lot of uncertainty with Watson. So I think that if you don't want to lean into the uncertainty, I don't think Watson's having a ceiling game here. It's possible. I don't see it happening. So I would go with the upside play of Diggs, ranked at 27, as opposed to the 19 with downside. That's how I would go with that. And then Zabby, you got half PPR. Flex Hampton, Tracy, or Jacoby Myers. Hampton, apparently Coach Harbaugh is talking about a hot hand approach in that backfield. Hampton, I know, missed a pass protection call last week, and I know that ticked off the coach. And I know Vidal was in there more than I would have liked. And that offensive line's a problem. So Hampton, I have Hampton as a well-ranked play at 13. I do think his volume does tick up here a little bit. So there's that. And then Tracy splits the work. And sometimes Singletary is more effective. So I have him at 22 just because there's so much uncertainty with him. And Tracy isn't necessarily that runner that's going to take advantage of the really poor side-to-side coverage of those linebackers in Washington. So I have Tracy ranked a little lower. Myers is going to be tough to bench. Myers has been pretty much fantasy, solid for a month now. Every week his role's gotten a little more stable in there, and I think Myers has been a big red zone target for them. So I think he and Hampton have almost equal chances of scoring here. So I would probably go with Myers, Hampton close, Tracy third here. All right, and then let's see what we got here, and then we're back to the stream. Okay. All right, here we go here. All right, start 2. Breece Hall, Rico Dowdle, Chris Rodriguez, Devin Singletary. So as we're doing this show, inactives are dropping in a few minutes. Chris Rodriguez is apparently legitimate, the game time decision, and that's problematic because if he's not 100%, is it possible that he loses carries to Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, or Jeremy McNichols? An injury to Chris Rodriguez is enough to make me say, probably not in my fantasy playoffs. Breece Hall, look, he has a terrible matchup. He was 4 fantasy points last week. If we paint the narrative, Brady cooked the quarterback, you would have to think has to dump off the ball to Breece Hall. He hasn't been getting targets. It's like 1 or 2 targets in 3 of the last 4 games. But you have to think the Jaguars are going to have a lead, and they're going to have to play hurry up, and you have to think Breece Hall is going to get targets. It's risky because the matchup's bad, but I would play Breece Hall among this group, and I would actually play Dowdle. a hot hand. He could get relegated out if he's not hot and Hubbard is, but Dowdle gets the first crack. It's not a good matchup. Singletary, again, he gets about 14 touches a week, and he's been good. But is he the outside runner that could take advantage of the Washington defense? And the answer is maybe not. So I think you have 4 good options, but I think those Rodriguez and Singletary options aren't to the point where I'm going to put them ahead of Hall and Dowdle, even though it's been a real problem for Breece Hall. Morning, Kevin. Need 3 from the PPR. Pollard, Monty, Diggs, Franklin, Reed, Devontae Smith, Juwan Jennings. Love Juwan Jennings. You heard me mention that a few minutes ago. I think the 49ers are going to have a great time throwing the ball today. I know Devontae Smith has not done a lot. I know there could be a little snow in the first quarter. It's probably an advantage to the Eagles over the Raiders. You have to think this is a get right game after that Monday night debacle. You have to think that Devontae Smith gets involved here. And the third one is probably Diggs. Jaden Reed, love him, but he's going to get more than 6 touches, and that's the question. And he has to do a lot on minimal work, whereas Diggs, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win game for New England here. They can clinch, and not really a must-win. They can clinch the division. That's why they know they can put away the division, and the Bills would have to be a wild card. I think it's a huge game for them. And they went to Diggs for 100 yards worth of production in the first meeting. So I would go with those 3 receivers. Pollard, I don't expect him to repeat it. Monty doesn't get enough dedicated work of this group. Franklin, again, like I said, Bryant's out. That helps, but yeah, not to that point. Disco Dave, good morning. You need a running back, a receiver, and a flex. Walker, Hampton, Harvey, Marks. And then you got McMillan, Olave, Jefferson, and George Pickens. All right, Pickens is 100% in. Olave did really well in the Week 10 matchup. Oh, Christian Benford is out for the Bills. He is their top cornerback. That gives Stephon Diggs a huge boost. I know in the first meeting they were trying to get Benford on Diggs when they could, and then in return, New England was trying to move Diggs away from him by getting him in the slot some, but no Benford. That's a huge, huge knock for the Buffalo defense. So Diggs wheels up on him. All right. So anyway, back to your question. You're starting Pickens. Olave is in. I mean, he had like 100 yards and a touchdown against his defense when they played in Week 10. And look, he's a big part of their offense, and he's done well. He's had a couple down weeks. It's really hard to sit Chris Olave right now. And then you need a running back of the group of. I probably give Hampton, my running back 13, the edge on this group. Walker, again, we just can't count on him if you can't get an outside run broken. His defense isn't one to give that up. Harvey had 2 great games in a row, but the efficiency is down. Last week, the efficiency against the Raiders was fine, but this matchup is significantly different. Green Bay limited Jahmyr Gibbs, and they limited the Bears rushing attack, so this is not the great spot for Harvey. And Marks is really simple. If he gets a touchdown, he gets you 14, 15 PPR points. If he doesn't, he gets you 7 or 8. And that's been like going for like 6 weeks. So I think your other Hampton probably gives you a little bit more floor than Woody Marks does. And where do I have Woody Marks at? I got like, and in Arizona, actually, it's easier to pass on them than to run on them, from my opinion. So that's the way I'd go with that. All right, Jeff, Purdy or Dak? It's a good question. I have Dak as my quarterback 3. Purdy is my quarterback. I like Purdy's matchup. But here's the thing. Purdy has not looked good. He played Carolina, and he soiled the bed. And so right now, yeah, Dak's going to face the blitz. But Dak's been great against the blitz, and those corners don't match with his receivers. I think Purdy could have a great game. And I like the 49ers here. But if Purdy plays the way he did in his prior 2 games, you're not going to want to make that move. So I think in this case, you go with Dak. Hunter Henry or TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, TJ Hawkinson gets like 2 catches a game. If you hope he falls in the end zone, because that's the only time he's been like fantasy relevant. He's not a factor. Hunter Henry, that usage from early in the season is long gone. I've got him as my tight end 17 and 21. Hunter Henry does get a little bit of an edge here. Buffalo's not the juggernaut against the tight end they used to be in the past. So I hate defense. Oh, it's the kicker picks I really hate. It's the kicker ones, Jeff. I'm good with defenses. Eagles and the 49ers. I'm going to say the Eagles, because the Eagles will give some confusing secondary looks, and we're probably going to see Tennessee's quarterback Cam Ward with some situations that he's not going to be prepared for. So I give him the edge here. 49ers, they're not the big pass rush team. So I could see them like not getting many sacks. So I'd give the Eagles the edge there. Jay, receiver and 2 flex. Higgins, Quentin Johnson, Michael Wilson, Warren, Gadsden, Likely, and Strange. You definitely got to consider Likely. He had 2 touchdowns called back in the last weeks, but otherwise, he still put up good fantasy numbers. They're playing Cincinnati. He's becoming part of that offense, and it's the right matchup. So I think it's hard to sit him. Jaden Higgins, I like him this week. I didn't like him last week, but his matchup is much easier. And Max Melton, the corner's out. They got a safety out for Arizona. And I think the Cardinals' pass rush is not one that's going to create a problem for Stroud. So I think Stroud's going to throw well in this game. And so I think Jaden Higgins is in a good spot here. So I like him. Michael Wilson, for the volume, I think you almost got to start him for volume. I don't expect him to do great here. Look, he's going to face either Lassiter or Stingley. Those matchups are bad. And left tackle Paris Johnson's out, and you're going to Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. But I think Wilson getting crazy amount of targets. I think you got to play him. Warren, look, he hasn't done great the last month, and this is not a good matchup, and we don't know his quarterback. Gadsden hasn't done anything in over a month, and Strange, good floor play. Maybe he finds the end zone, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Higgins, Wilson, and Likely for me. Oh, I got a super chat. Let me get back to that. All right, do that. Fix that. All right, see what we got here. All right, what we got here now? We got Zabby's up next, half PPR. Oh, did I answer this already? I think I did answer this for you. So we answered you for oh no, we didn't. There's a new one. Hampton, Tracy, and Myers. All right. I'm seeing some of these names overlapping. All right. Jefferson for Myers. Yeah, Justin Jefferson's hard to start right now. He has 3 PPR points in each of his last 2 games. If you take the name off and you just look at the production, Justin Jefferson, I finally had to bury him. The rankings are hard to do because at some point you got these players who are superstars, and I moved him down to wide receiver 25, and it just feels weird moving him down further. He probably should be down at, 30, 31. I probably put Brian Thomas too low. I'm going to put an upside tag on Brian Thomas here. I'll probably put an upside tag. I mean, he at least had 87 yards last week. But all right, so you're going to ask flex Hampton, Tracy, or Myers. I do think Myers is your play here. I think Myers is a regular part of that offense. Trevor Lawrence is at his best throwing to the middle of the field. When they get to the red zone, Myers seems to be the player he's looking for. So I do like Myers here. Of the next 2, Tracy might not be able to take full advantage of the best weaknesses of the Washington run defense. So there's that. So I'm going to say Hampton would be second on that one. And then, okay, good on that. And then let's see what else we got. And then we got Rick. And all right, so yeah, again, here's the thing. I love Purdy's matchup. On paper, it's great. I think Purdy's going to have a good game. But and Drake May, I think the first time they played, they were able to run the ball. I don't think he had to throw a whole lot. So the team did great, but he didn't. But just remember, we've seen Brock Purdy as recently as that Monday night game against Carolina could not have been a better matchup, and he was brutal. So at least with Drake May, what we've seen all year, he's not going to come out and lay a pumpkin. If he has a bad game, it's just because they end up running, and it worked against that way. But Purdy could get that 3 touchdowns in his sleep, but he also could throw 3 picks like he did against Carolina. So it's very, very good. Rome Odunze is playing today, everybody, by the way. Just saw that pop up on the feed here. So yeah, it's not crazy, but it's very risky because Brock Purdy is really having his issues right now. And this is a get right game, but you're putting your season on the line. Randy had that big win on the prop bet the other night on Thursday night. We were having the RotoWire watch party on RotoWire Discord, and Randy had Sean Tucker and Bijan Robinson to score touchdowns, and Randy got them both. Great call, Randy. All right, Chris Rodriguez. So Rodriguez is inactive. Yeah, I should check the inactives here too. So Odunze is playing, as we said. Jaguars left tackle Walker Little's out. Shouldn't be a big deal against the Jets. Nick Chubb not playing. I guess if you're in a super, super, super deep league, Dario Ogunbowale could see a little bit of secondary work. Quentin Johnston is inactive for the Chargers. So maybe that gets Keenan Allen a little extra work. Trey Harris, 14-team league option maybe there. As we know, Brady Cook starting at quarterback for the Jets. Chris Rodriguez, as you said, is out. So Krosky Merritt does get a little bit of bump here, and he could be a long shot play for you. Jeremy McNichols could be a deeper league flex as well. Let's see what else we got here. Darnell Washington is going to play. Devon Achane removed from the injury report. All right, so that's what I got on injuries right now. All right, so let's see what we got here. So let's go back to Randy. Chris Rodriguez inactive, non-PPR, so standard league. Which three out of Swift, Hampton, Walker, Charbonnet, and Krosky Merritt? Swift for sure. I think the Bears are going to run the ball a ton, as they love to do every week. Again, I do worry about Hampton in a hot hands backfield, but I do think overall Hampton showed run and catchability that he can kind of get around a matchup. So I do like Hampton there. I think Charbonnet has the better matchup than Walker in the same game because DeForest Buckner remains out for Indy. So the interior running, you can get a little going. Grover Stewart's in there. He's still tough, but not having Buckner, that helps Charbonnet. Krosky Merritt, again, he's tough to trust because McNichols could get some work here. And Krosky Merritt's better when he gets outside. And I think with the Giants, I think running inside works as a little bit more of an advantage. So, yeah, I would probably go with Swift, Hampton, and Charbonnet. Volmaniac, PPR, running back, tight end, and a flex. Hampton, Harvey, Hubbard, Ferguson, and Strange. You need to sit two. The only reason I'm going to say sit Ferguson is because we have a little bit of a concern about his calf. It looks like he's going to be fine to play, but if that sets back, it's not like Ferguson has been crushing it. He's getting you right around 10 PPR points a game, which has been great, but it's not been what we saw early in the season when CeeDee Lamb was out. So I think you don't take the risk with that. So he's one that you're sitting here. It's close at Harvey and Hubbard, but Hubbard is, I'm not going to get, Harvey's going to get more volume. He's the lead guy there. But we've seen him not be efficient, and the Packers are a bad matchup. Hubbard, here's the problem. 3.1 yards per running back carry for the Panthers against the Saints in week 10, and the Saints are a good run defense. So actually, you know what? Harvey's volume gives him this because Hubbard's not the hot hand here. Hubbard could end this game with 6 carries, and I don't think there's going to be much. I don't think the Saints are running out to a lead here. So Hubbard probably doesn't get hurry up work. So I'm sitting Hubbard, and I'm sitting Fergie on that one. All right, see where we're at here. All right, see where we're at here. Okay, trying to find my last question here where we're at. Looks like things moved. Here we go. Let's see, maybe. Oh, let me see. Still looking through this. All right, here we go. Looks like questions are all over the board. All right, see if I got Jay's right. Jay, I got yours. Woody Marks or Devin Neal? This is close. Nick Chubb being out doesn't really move the needle because Marks was getting most of the work anyway. Devin Neal, they both are going to get volume. They both need to fall in the end zone for this to work. Neal potentially has a nice matchup here against Carolina, who's been pretty bad. Woody Marks, on the other hand, where do I have him in my rankings? Arizona is much better against the run than they are against the pass. I do like Devin Neal here. I have him a few spots higher. I think Neal's matchup is easier. They both get similar work. They both have a similar touchdown probability. All right. Jay Red, Bears, Browns, or Broncos defense. I know Jordan Love can have those games where he starts to turn it over, but I think the Packers run it pretty straight on offense. We're not going to do crazy stuff and then take the turnovers. So I'm going to go with the Bears. They should get a lead against the Browns. Sub-zero wind chills. That's not going to really benefit Cleveland really well. The Bears have been great at getting takeaways. And we know that Shedeur Sanders holds the ball for like 47 seconds. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears there. Next question, full PPR start to DK, Vele, Higgins, Watson. I do like DK. I think that the Titans are going to trail. 49ers are not great with a pass rush. They're not that great in coverage. So DK should get garbage time. And, I have Watson with the downside. He's just been too good. It's really hard to bench Christian Watson here. Higgins is a nice play this week. I don't put Vele in this group. But I'm not going to sit Christian Watson compared to those other players. He's been too reliable, and he's had some tougher matchups too. Let me make sure I don't have a super chat question here, and we'll get the spot marked here. Make sure we're good on these. No, I think I have another super chat here. Okay. All right. The Shores stories need a flexible PPR. Christian Watson or Jaden Higgins. So yeah, it is kind of that same thing. I do like Higgins matchup. Higgins has had one decent yardage game, 65 yards he had a couple weeks ago with CJ Stroud, and it's possible he does that again. Watson's had at least 45 yards in every game he's played. Yeah, I know the matchup's bad, but I think Jaden Higgins hasn't done enough to make that a confident play. Use your gut and roll the dice if you want. It's your fantasy season. I get it. And it's not a great matchup for Watson. I think Higgins is in a great spot despite his ranking. I think he could have a really good game here. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he scored a touchdown. It wouldn't surprise me if he got 60 or 70 yards. But to bank on it right now, that's a tough one because his targets have gone down a little bit with Stroud's 5 in the last 2 games, whereas he was getting like 7 to 10 with Davis Mills. So it's down a bit. I just think there's more risk with Higgins. But if your gut says Higgins, I get it. Higgins could have a game here. So if that's where your gut's going, trust your gut and use them. But Watson's been too good for me to recommend sitting against him. It's a great question. They all are. These are all great questions. All right, Volmaniacs next. Happy holidays to you. PPR need a running back, tight end, and flex. Hampton, Hubbard, Harvey, Rodriguez, who is out, Ferguson, and Strange. All right, so of your tight end, we're going to go with Strange because of the Ferguson injury. I have Ferguson ranked significantly higher, but if you're willing to take the risk on Ferguson, not thinking maybe his cap is not an issue, it's a risk, but Ferguson's ranked higher. Ferguson, I do see as a better option, but if you're at all worried about the calf, then sit Ferguson. That's what I would say on that, but you've got to make that call because the injury one, there's no insight we have as to whether he's susceptible to a setback or if it's even a serious injury. It could have just been a cramp. So Ferguson is the better play, but if you want to mitigate risk, then go with Strange. And then Hampton and Hubbard and Harvey. Of those 3, I'm going with, because Rodriguez is out, I'm going with Hampton. Hubbard is starting as a second back. New Orleans is a tough run defense. And if he doesn't get the hot hand, he won't do much. Harvey is close with Hampton, but this is a tougher matchup. So I would go there. But now as your flex, I do think Harvey's back in play here because of that volume. All right. Thier, Lamb or Collins. Oh, that's a good problem to have. I have them obviously both very high. I have Lamb at 7, Collins at 9. CD Lamb is a great matchup. The Minnesota corners are not good. If they send the blitz, Dak might get it out quicker, which might mean more CD Lamb. Collins is in a great spot. I actually went with the prop on his yards and bumped it up to 90 yards. I think he's in a great spot. Both could smash. Both could smash to a very good level, but I think CD Lamb has a higher base of targets in this one because of the anticipated blitzes from Minnesota, but they're that close in the rankings where you obviously can't go wrong. Mahomes or Dak, I'm going to go with Dak here. Mahomes had a great fantasy game against Dallas, but he's down 3 linemen. He's down 3 linemen here. And I know Hollywood Brown's not like a huge factor, but that's another player who's out. I just think Dak's more likely to have a higher floor, and it's been a little bit problematic for Mahomes. Now Mahomes will run, we know that, but right now it's difficult. Dak could have a big game here. Delroy, full PPR start 2. Ferguson, Kincaid, Schultz. Again, this goes back to the injury risk. Kincaid's getting 2 to 6 targets a game. He's been very efficient on those. He lit up New England for 106 yards when they played last time. I have a downside tag because he's only playing 33% of the snaps. But I think Kincaid merits the play based on his last matchup and his overall production. Otherwise, Schultz is super safe. He's going to get you catches. If you're willing to take the risk on Ferguson, it just being a milder, it sounds like it is. It sounds like it is, but I can't prove it. Ferguson's the better play. But if you just want to be safe for your fantasy playoffs, Schultz would be fine. I would start Ferguson and Kincaid in my lineup. Delegazi, good morning. Shador or Caleb? Interesting question. I think both are terrible today. Sub-zero wind chills, bad for Shador. The Bears are probably going to run the ball. There's going to be probably a really low-scoring game. Probably both teams are going to try to run the ball as much as they can. Caleb probably has a chance to run for more yardage. I think the Bears have a big advantage at home in this one. I would start Caleb Williams. Last week Shador Sanders game, God bless him. It was a great game. Probably never happen again. But both are bad plays. But I would probably go Caleb Williams because there's a chance that Cleveland doesn't score many points in this one. Bears secondary, they're without Kyler Gordon, but the Bears secondary, they've been regularly causing problems, picking off passes on quarterbacks. C. Faulkner, good morning to you. Drake May or Brock Purdy? Yeah, you heard me talk a similar question for somebody earlier. On paper, Purdy's a great play, but Purdy hasn't looked good. If you're fantasy playoffs, you're taking a chance that if he looks the way he looked in his last two games, you don't want him in your lineup. If you're just going on a paper matchup, yeah, Purdy looks great. Drake May's hard to sit. Drake May has a pretty reliable floor. He certainly has ceiling potential. Cornerback, oh wow, why is his name a baby now? Top cornerback for the Bills is out, and so I think that helps as well. So yeah, I would go Drake May there. Juwan or Likely? This is tough. I put Likely ahead of Juwan Johnson because of the matchup. Juwan's been red hot. I mean, that's right. Likely's been red hot. Juwan's had a great floor. Juwan went 4 for 92 and a touchdown against his defense in Week 10. But, man, they're playing Cincinnati. Isaiah Likely is. And they've been getting him the ball. I think Juwan Johnson has a safer floor, but it's really hard to sit Likely right now. Very hard to sit Likely right now. Delegazi, Genti, Neal, Dowdle, Hampton, Debo, Odunze. You need to start 3. Odunze is active today, but again, we've had some really brutal fantasy scores, and I don't expect the Bears to throw much here. Debo, I think you got to play. I think Debo's had a good matchup. No Zach Ertz, so I think that opens up a little more targets underneath. Tight end out. Debo runs a lot of underneath stuff. I think Devin Neal's a solid play. Very soft matchup, and this game should be close, so he should be involved all the way through. For the third one, man, I got Genti lower. I got Genti at 17, but he catches passes. And we had a game with 6 catches. I know Philly's great against receiving backs, but Dowdle's got to be a hot hand, and it's not a good matchup. And I would go with Genti here because there's a chance he catches a lot of passes, and it's a tough call, but I would play him as well. Let's see if I think I might have a super chat here. And I got to get my headset in because I know James will be coming in soon. I'll be able to hear him when he comes in. All right, do that. All right, good deal. Let's see if I got a super chat. Jay, I see you put in a super chat, but there's no question underneath. So there's not anything in that blue bubble. I'm not you see, they come out like this where there's an answer in the blue bubble. So I don't have an answer. But so if you come up with something, please make sure you put it back in for me so I know, okay? Otherwise, I'm sorry about that. All right, let's see. I'm on 24. Okay, good deal here. All right, Big Meech, quarterback, Mariota, Sanders, or Rodgers. You're the underdog. Mariota's interesting. I put him an upside tag. Like I keep telling people, that Giants-Washington game, it could end up 13-10. It could end up 38-31. I'm more inclined to think it shoots out, but it certainly may not happen. But there's nothing problematic with Mariota's matchup. I know the Giants can get a pass rush, but he's mobile enough to be able to deal with that. And the Giants, their secondary is not good. I would give Mariota the edge here. I don't like Sanders and sub-zero wind chill. Aaron Rodgers, I know he was great last week, but that could be a lower scoring game too. So I give Mariota the shot here. Master J3, good morning. Full PPR, sit one. Debo, Tracy, Neal, or Judkins. It's tough on Judkins. He probably gets a lot of volume. Now, with Dylan Sampson out, though, that helps Judkins because Judkins have been losing passing down work, and I don't think Raheem Sanders is stepping into that role. So I actually like Judkins more with Sampson out. I probably sit Tracy here. Tracy's been fine. The matchup's not bad, but I don't think Tracy is the outside runner that can really compromise Washington's biggest weakness. So I'd go with those other three options here. Master J3, Stroud or Lamar, 4 points for passing touchdowns. Well, yeah, you got a tough one here. Lamar put up fantasy points last week. Clearly, the Cincinnati matchup is soft, and Lamar is hopefully a week closer to being healthy, but he did miss a practice again this week. Stroud is quarterback 12 or 11 in my listings, or 12, I should say. He has a good matchup against Arizona, but they both have a lot of speculation into their matchups. So I would tend to give Lamar Jackson the slight edge here. All right. All right. Let's see what we got next. Master J3, sit 2, full PPR. Rice, Nico, Cook, Wilson, Tet. I got to play the first three. Rice should be fine this week. Last week was tough. The matchup wasn't in his best interest. Nico's got a great matchup. James Cook is really hard to sit. Michael Wilson gets all those targets, but Houston's a different animal, I think. And Tet's just a floor play. So, yeah, I would go. That's the way I would do that. All right, come on. Devin Neal or Woody Marks. Neal has, in my mind, the easier matchup. Both matchups are fine. I think Neal's matchup's a bit easier. And so I would give Devin Neal a bit of an edge. They're very close. I got him as my running backs 23 and 26. But I think Neal has a little bit easier of a matchup. J-Mo or McMillan, this comes down to the fact J-Mo's been playing great, but every once in a while he gets that goose egg for you. And this is that game where if the Rams move Jared Verse on the inside to rush, which they'll do that, and all of a sudden, maybe those plays aren't really working. And the Rams are good at dropping players in the coverage. They did it at Sam Darnold. So J-Mo has a great ceiling in this game. But this could be that game where he doesn't do anything. Your decision is very simple based on if you want to make sure you walk out with 10 to 13 PPR points, that's usually Tet McMillan every week. So you're set there. Otherwise, J-Mo is your player because he could have that huge game. Just remember, there's downside. James Koh, welcome in, my friend.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
We're fantasy playoffs, my friend. Fantasy playoffs. I'm going to click this question. Let me just get this one thing changed off the screen. Make sure it looks like it's not on there. Get this fixed here. All right. James Koh, for like 1 minute, I need to step away. If you could find the question, can you
100%.
Back?
Yeah, let me find this
screen,
bad boy.
9:34 is the time on it.
Okay, I got you.
And I'll be back in about 1 minute, okay?
Sounds good, brother.
All right,
let's get it going.
Yes.
Almighty Kevin, 569. You need a flex. Christian Watson, Michael Wilson, Wan'Dale Robinson. These are three strong options here. Let me just say this. It's really hard to sit either Michael Wilson or Wan'Dale Robinson. Michael Wilson obviously has a terrible matchup against Houston. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is in a beautiful matchup against Washington, and he has been absolutely gangbusters. He's been automatic. I'll tell you what, if you want floor, really hard to get away from Wan'Dale Robinson. Great matchup against the Commanders here, and there has been some built-in chemistry between Wan'Dale and Jackson Dart. So, yeah, I think if you want floor, give me Wan'Dale Robinson. I think if you want ceiling, you want to get Michael Wilson in that ball game. He has been dang near matchup proof. But I'll tell you what, I think I'm leaning Wan'Dale here. I think he presents an interesting floor of or interesting combination of floor and ceiling. Give me Wan'Dale. But again, I would not be surprised if Michael Wilson is the highest scoring of this group here. And then I think Christian Watson's probably a little combination of all three, of all two. But let me just say this, though. I don't really like this matchup against Chicago because what is the weather looking like in Chicago? NFL weather.okcom. it's going to be. Oh, excuse me. Not Chicago. Where am I at? Against Denver. Green Bay's matchup against Denver, which is again a tough matchup, and the weather is not ideal either. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm tripping, man. In Denver, it's actually pretty nice, 63 degrees
Right. You're gonna have
today.
a good day.
Yeah, it's not bad. I thought, you know what, I was confusing this with Green Bay, but yeah, no, it's an interesting matchup, and like I said, I don't particularly like it. I think it might be a little bit of a low scoring game, and as a matter of fact, the guys in Vegas think it's going to be a pretty low scoring game too, Jim.
James, a few inactives. We knew Dylan Sampson would be out. We have seen Quinshon Judkins off the field on some passing downs. He's been losing snaps in the second halves of games, but they have Raheem Sanders, and I doubt he's going to take on much of a big role. Does Judkins get a boost this week with the absence of Sampson and Jerome Ford, who's on IR?
Right? Yeah. I mean, they're just running out of healthy bodies. You know what I mean? So he has to see a boost. If he doesn't, I'd be shocked, Jim, if he doesn't play 70% of the snaps. And you know what? And that's a big boost for him because he's been below 50% in a number of games here. So for him to get up to 70%, I just think he's in he's in a spot where you just have to play him. And
Yep.
so and most everyone is kind of sort of in this boat, right? With Judkins, he's been good enough where you just kind of sort of play him and cross your fingers and hope the offense is good enough to get him going, especially in PPR formats. But yeah, to your point though, I think he will see a few more checkdowns and should boost his floor quite a bit.
As we knew, the Chiefs are down two starting tackles, and they're down Trey Smith, their right guard. What does this mean for their offense overall against the Chargers?
It's interesting. Both offensive lines are going to be pretty. I mean, obviously, just trash. Let's just be honest here. Both offensive lines are trash. I think KC can still get after it defensively. Herbert's been, under siege. I think this game, and again, Vegas has this game at 41.5. I would not be surprised to see this game go under that total, right? So I think for both teams, they probably will try to stress the run game just as much as possible, just so they don't get their quarterbacks killed. And yeah, I'm not really liking a lot in regards to this game, especially from the passing assets. Jim, I mean, and keep in mind, too, not only are the Chargers' offensive line absolutely decimated, Quentin Johnston is not in this game either.
Right.
Right? So where are they going to throw this football? They have to keep this bad boy on the ground. The only problem is Kansas City's defense is really, really good. Right? So
Yes.
I just don't see a lot of points being scored.
No, it could be a very low scoring game. And other quick things on the inactive report, Chris Rodriguez is out. What does that do for the fantasy value of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and or Jeremy McNichols against the Giants?
I'm bummed, right? Because Chris Rodriguez had a beautiful matchup here against the Giants. The Giants had really been getting gashed in the middle of their defensive line, and Chris Rodriguez is primarily an inside runner here, right? So was disappointed to see that, but yeah, I think for JCM, I think he's got. If he doesn't get it done here, I don't know where he gets it done, to be honest with you. He's going to be the primary guy on first and second downs now. He should be working in the pass game as well. It's just, man, you know what, Jim? I tell you what, just from an X's and O standpoint, when I watch JCM run, I see a guy that this guy needs to be running outside zone. I mean, the guy loves to cut back inside. He's got a great cutback. And I think he's got decent vision, but they just don't run him a lot on outside zone. That I think is why he's fallen out of favor. Especially when you have a mobile quarterback and you're doing all this RPO stuff, the running back's got to go up the middle. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Not a great fit, but again, I think JCM does get it done today in a great matchup against the Giants.
Last one before we get back to the questions. I got a super chat. We'll get to you very, very quickly. Imari DiMercato is finally back on the field. Now, when we've seen him, he'll get an explosive play like every game.
Yeah.
It's like one big run. As long as he doesn't fumble it through the end zone with nobody touching him. Another story for another day. But against the Texans, any flex consideration for DiMercato?
I'm just look. The matchup is terrible, and it sounds like it's going to be a 3-man rotation there. It's hard to trust any of these running backs. I don't know what the rotation's going to look like. We're all guessing here because, I mean, shoot, we thought it was going to be, we thought it was going to be Bam, then we thought it was going to be DiMercato, then somebody. It's just Michael Carter's in the man. It's just, I don't know. It's really hard to trust that backfield at all, especially in a bad matchup.
Randy Malik's asking us Christian Watson or DK Metcalf non-PPR. You got Watson against Denver. You got Metcalf, who's fully healthy, practiced all week. He's Monday night game against Miami, who does not have a good secondary. What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, man.
DK had his first good game in over
That's
a month.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Do I ride the hot hand here? I think I'm going Christian Watson. It's a terrible matchup against Denver, but he has been getting the looks, and the chemistry between he and Love have been undeniable. This one's tough, man. I don't want to play anyone on Green Bay, but I mean, shoot, Christian Watson might be the one guy.
Watson doesn't have fewer than 45 yards in any game. DK Metcalf can't say that. So I think, like you said,
great point.
Got to be safe here, right? Shookson's asking us, need two PPR tight end premium guillotine league. Michael Wilson, Kelsey, Woody Marks, Quinshawn Judkins, RJ Harvey, Josh Jacobs, who is going to play with his knee bruise, and Ashton Genty. Wow. We need two PPR.
I think I want to chase the upside of Genty. Philadelphia's defensive line, obviously, without Jalen Carter, and man, teams have just been absolutely hammering them in the run game. So I think I want to play Genty. I'm probably going to avoid Jacobs because of the injury and the matchup. I feel like, oh man, tight end premium. I'm still I almost lean towards Kelsey in this one. I know he's been bad, but tight end premium's interesting, and I know. I don't know. I'm a little torn on this one, Jim. What are your thoughts there? I think I definitely want to get Genty
Kelsey, and I get it because look, he has to be embarrassed after last year, and he's old, but he's played well this year. I have to think after that game last week, they're still technically alive for the playoffs. I have to think they need Kelsey here, so I would go with Kelsey as well.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I might have thought about Woody Marks with Nick Chubb out of there too, but this one's tough.
I know. All right. Next question. Julian wants to know full PPR. Pick 2. Devin Neal, Kyle Monangai, DeAndre Swift. Yeah, both Bears and Rico Dowdle against the Saints. Saints only held Carolina to 3.1 running back yards per carry in week 10. Saints run defense is nasty.
Yeah. I think and the other thing too, I can't trust Dowdle right now, right? Like,
right?
Is it a Chuba backfield? Is it not? I mean, hot hand approach right now, and Chuba seems to have the hot hand. I don't know. It's interesting. And by the way, it should be noted too that Chuba is getting a little bit healthier. He said he came back from the injury a little too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's really interesting. So I'd probably lean against Dowdle there if I'm picking 2. Oh man, can I go Devin Neal and Monangai? I think I might want to do that. Again, if we're going hot hand there in Chicago, Monangai seems to be surging. Swift seems to be fading just a little bit there. Maybe I go Devin Neal and Monangai.
All right, and let's go next. We've got another Devin Neal, be popular today. Kavango, Dowdle, Neal, or Marks? This is a good question.
It's a great question. And I think I'm leaning Neal and Marks here.
Me too. Yep.
Nick Chubb, I think being out really plays a role here. They're going to get other running backs involved for sure, but I do wonder if Marks gets a few more. If they get into the goal line situation, goal to go, Marks I think might get a couple more touches here. So I'll try to play that upside and go Neal and Marks.
Yep. And then next, Michael wants to know, tough call playing Dowdle PPR. He needs one, Hubbard or Pittman, and he's already playing Dowdle. And I said this last week, James. Somebody had a question. They wanted to start. Just 2 weeks ago against Buffalo. They had Pittsburgh's backs. They had Jaylen Warren and Kenny Gainwell, and they said, "Can I play both?" I go, "Here's your problem. If the offense doesn't do what we think, you get a double loss," and that's what ended up happening. I told them not to start them both, and so that's the worry. Hubbard and Dowdle, they're playing a really good run defense. The odds of them both going off are slim. So do you just go with Pittman in the bad matchup?
I don't know how you play Pittman though. Right? Like, okay, so I'm playing Dowdle. You want to play? Okay, so you want to play Dowdle? Yeah, I guess you do. I guess you go Dowdle and Pittman.
Could Pittman get 6 catches for 20 yards? which would be 8 PPR points. Could he
6
do
for
that?
20 would be so bad.
Wouldn't it?
That would be crazy.
But it would be 8.
Hey, listen, it might be,
Oh
I
my
won't even
gosh.
go 6. I think I might go 5 for 40. And I think you get 9.
It still gets us to 9.
Yeah, I
Let's
think you
roll
get
with it.
9. Let's go 5 for 40. Let's not. I mean,
Oh
let's
my
do it.
gosh.
It's bad weather, bad matchup, but shoot, I mean, you can't play both backs in the backfield, man.
And I was being a little snarky when I said 5 for 20, but it kind of was like made a point, right? All right, next we got Jay up. Full PPR. Kelsey or Fannin?
Wow. I can't sit Fannin, to be honest with you.
No.
The chemistry is real between Fannin and Shador. Kelsey's fine, too. I like both guys, to be honest with you. But give me Fannin. I'll chase that upside.
Njoku's out. Not that it matters a lot, but he is out.
Right.
And sub-zero wind chill. I have to think it's a lot of short passing here. So Fannin would be, like you said, be a nice call there. All right. Next, we got Chris. Watson or Slayton? I think this one's overthinking it.
Yeah, I think so. Let's pick Christian Watson right there and just forget about it, right?
Yeah. Slayton's a nice play, and it makes sense, but
Totally.
really hard to sit Christian Watson. All right. Next, we've got Mark wants to know Jalen Warren or Devin Neal. Miami's run defense has gotten a lot better since week 6. They were like the worst in the league, and now they're really like feisty.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know how many points are going to be scored in this New Orleans Carolina game. That game I don't have a good read on at all, Jim.
No,
I don't know if it's going to be a high scoring game. I don't know if it's going to be a low scoring game, but it could be either one.
Right.
It could be either one, depending on how Bryce plays. Bryce has just been one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in all of football. You know what? I think if I'm going for some floor here, give me Jalen Warren. I think the matchup is, again, Cincinnati's been better, but still not good. I will take Jalen Warren for the floor, and I think you got decent ceiling too.
All right, we go on next to Michael. Flex half PPR. Rico Dowdle, DeAndre Swift, or Christian Watson? It's a good 3-part question.
Yeah, it really is. And again, I'm so confused by Carolina's backfield. I know Rico's been the starter, but last game certainly did not seem like Rico was the starter,
No.
So I think they may be going back to Chuba here if they're going with the hot hand approach. I just don't know. I don't have a good read on it. To be honest with you, I think if I'm leaning anywhere, it might actually be Swift at Cleveland.
Me too. Because, see, when Malik Collins went out for Cleveland, everybody said pass rush. No, he was their anchor in their run defense, and they got gouged by Tony Pollard the minute he was out.
Right.
The Bears have a complicated run system, all these different looks they give you, and it's sub-zero wind chill. The Bears are probably going to run the ball 40 times between their running backs today. So I'm with you. I'm going to go with Swift there. The Bears should have a big day on the ground. I don't want to start the receivers, though.
No.
All right, Mark. Let's do one more, and then I'll let you take care of business, James. Mark wants to know PPR tight end pick 1. Brenton Strange, likely against the Cincinnati Bengals, or Juwan Johnson, who was 492 and a touchdown against Carolina in Week 10.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be likely. And I know this one's a little off menu here because he's the quote-unquote backup tight end. But shoot, man, there have been so many backup tight ends. In fact, likely himself should have had 20 points against this very same Bengals defense, but he fumbled one through the end zone, ended up with 12.5. Yeah. That's what's crazy.
And he had a touchdown last week, and he had one called back on that weird call in the end zone. So likely been a big part of the offense. That was dumb. That was dumb.
Stupid. That was crazy. That was a touchdown. And so, yeah, we're going a little off menu here because we're going back up over 2 starters, but the matchup's just too nice. Bengals have given up the most fantasy points per game to the tight end position. You know what? Can I just pull up one stat here, which is 100%. Just absolutely insane?
And while James is pulling that stat up, I want to tell everybody, best of luck in your fantasy playoff game. It's a big week. Don't overthink it. If you've got a star who's playing against a streamer type, take your star over the streamer type unless there's a real good reason. Have fun. It's your fantasy league. But remember, James here to bail you out on those questions. Go ahead, James.
I was just going to say, over the last 9 games, 12 different tight ends have scored double-digit points against Cincinnati in PPR formats. And the double-digit streak includes likely himself. Like I said, had 12.5 PPR points just a few weeks ago. So, and by the way, the big total in this game too, 52.5, which is a big number, second highest of the week. A lot of touchdown exposure, I think, in that game too.
James, good luck for this
All
week
right,
in
man.
your games. Thank you for handling these questions. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. I'll see you next time.
All right, Jim. See you, man. Jim's the best. Love him for sure. Let's see if I could. Where are we at here in terms of the questions here? Okay, I got one. Okay, here we go. Shim Sham 98. Where was this one? I think we got to this question. Yeah, okay, so we got to this one here. We got to this one. All right, great. I'm caught up. James Coffey, great name, first of all. If Devontae Adams does not play, who is the best pickup for the Rams? That's a great question. I kind of assume that Devontae is going to play. If it is not, I'm very interested in Jordan Whittington. Actually, to be honest with you, I think they kick Puka outside just a little bit, and Whittington plays out of the slot here a little, and he's been good. So it's interesting. I don't think that they go with the same setup where Puka plays 50-50 inside-outside. I just think that they they're going to kick Puka mostly to the outside and ask Jordan Whittington to play inside. That is a setup that they have used in the past. If we're just going straight up by routes run and target share and all that kind of stuff, man. I'm trying to think here. Who might it be? Because where would they even go? Man, I'm looking at routes run here. It's Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua 1-2 by a million miles. Then Jordan Whittington is number 3. So that's why I'm going Jordan Whittington. Yeah, let's go that route, I guess. I don't got a great read on it, though, and to be honest with you, they'll be an also ran. Most likely, the Rams will go heavily into Puka Nacua and the tight ends. I think both tight ends. Colby Parkinson, actually, to be honest with you, I think probably is the biggest beneficiary if Devontae Adams misses time. OMG, it's sleek! Full PPR. Start 2, Jaden Reed, Dowdle, Devin Neal. I don't feel great about Jaden Reed. I mean, again, still not, he's barely playing. I know he had a decent stat line, but again, he just doesn't get on the field enough. So we're working with very thin margins, especially when we're talking about a low scoring game against Denver. So I don't know. To me, it's a little tough. When I look at the snap share, for example, for Jaden Reed, played 48% of the snaps. Right? Again, very thin margins. Very thin margins when we're talking about, okay, will he run routes on those 48% of the snaps? Will he not run routes? Will he get a target when he's out there? Route participation was very high last week. Again, played 25 snaps and ran 17 routes, but that is an awfully difficult thing to assume when it comes to Jaden Reed. So I'm going to take him out. So if I'm starting 2, I guess it's Dowdle and Devin Neal, which I don't feel great about. I'm not going to lie to you here, but I think I'd rather have Dowdle and Devin Neal over a guy that's playing less than 50% of snaps in a low-scoring game in a bad matchup against Denver. None of that sounds great to me. So give me Dowdle and Neal. Ancillary Jabroni. What a screen name. Ancillary Jabroni. Let's go. Start 2 of 3, half PPR. Not trusting Odunze. Let's go Pearsall. Oh, God, I'm not trusting Alec Pierce either. Take Alec Pierce out. I guess we have to go Odunze and Pearsall. You can't play Pierce with Rivers back there. He had 5 years ago. He didn't have an arm. You know what I mean? Like the last time he played, what was that? 2023. It was like whatever. He hasn't played in 3 years or 4 years or whatever. Back then, his arm was shot. What the hell does his arm look like now? There's no way Pierce is getting a downfield look. Dude, honestly, I would be shocked if Rivers can throw the ball more than, with any velocity, I'm saying, like anything more than 20 yards. I'd be stunned. There's just no way. The fact that he's even starting is a joke and an embarrassment for the Colts franchise. I thought they were done with this, honestly, with the new ownership, right? Like I thought Carly was running this ship pretty well, pretty tight ship. I'm surprised they brought back Phillip Rivers, man. I really am. That's somewhat embarrassing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. James, another great name. Jake Ferguson or Juwan Johnson, also Bowers or Kittle, half PPR. I'm definitely going to play Bowers. Hard not to play Bowers, I think, just given the upside. Kittle's great, too. Don't get me wrong. But I want to play Bowers, I think, in that spot. Jake Ferguson or Juwan Johnson. This one's a little bit tougher, but I think I'm going Jake Ferguson here. Ferguson's been good. I know Juwan Johnson's coming off a very, very strong game, but they're going to have to get some quicker passes out here on Sunday Night Football against Minnesota. Minnesota, obviously one of the heaviest blitzing teams in the NFL. If not, I think they are the heaviest blitzing team in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Can they get some quicker, routes out there? And for that, I think we go to the running back, we go to the tight end. We obviously go to CeeDee Lamb. It is possible they keep Jake Ferguson in for blocking purposes. Totally possible. And this could be a moot point, but I think if I'm going to read it, they haven't really done that though, Dallas. They haven't really kept Jake Ferguson into block, really. So I'm just assuming he's going to run some routes, man. So give me some checkdowns, easy checkdowns here, to Jake Ferguson. That's kind of sort of where I am leaning. Juwan Johnson I think Juwan Johnson has higher upside. So if you want to go that route, if you're just chasing ceiling, go ahead and give me Juwan Johnson as well. Okay, here we go. Zabby, half PPR. Was going to ask to flex Hampton, Tracy, or Myers. Looking at your rankings, looks like you would recommend me sitting Jefferson and playing Myers. I think that's the right call. Okay, so if you want to flex Hampton, Tracy, or Myers, well, you would. I want to flex. Oh man, this is tough. Maybe I want to flex Tracy here. Best matchup between Hampton and Tracy. Hampton's I think, going to still continue to be in a 50-50 split. Their offensive line is really tough, and KC's got a really, really good defense. I think I'm flexing Tracy right there, yo. And then, I want to play Myers too. I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure. JC or JC Eno. Last one, should I start the Packers defense or Cowboys DST? Should I start Dicker the kicker or the Pats kicker against the Bills? Kicker questions, man. Come on. That's a little ridiculous. I'm gonna say Dicker though, just because I think they'll be able to move the ball, just not score touchdowns, if that makes sense. Whereas to me, I think the Pats will be scoring more touchdowns than they will be getting stopped. I'm like, Buffalo's defense is just not good, man. Straight up not good. I don't care what measurements you use. They're not good through the air. By the way, Christian Benford's out. I think they just score more touchdowns, which means you're not going to get field goal opportunities. By the way, I think the Bills will also score touchdowns, which means it should be a pretty high-scoring game, which means when it comes to kicking field goals, I think New England will be motivated not to kick those field goals and go for it. I'm just reading game script here just a little bit. The over-under on that game is really, really high. So I am going to say in a lower-scoring game, I know this is kind of like, going against the logic here. But in a lower scoring game, I think they will take more field goal opportunities because points are at a premium. So I will say Dicker the kicker. If we're talking DST, I think I want Packers D. Again, lower scoring game here, could be back and forth. Packers have a better real life defense, and Denver does have a tendency to turn it over, and I think Bo Nixon gets sacked a few times here too. So go ahead and give me Packers DST. I feel pretty confident in that one, actually, to be honest with you. This is from Germs. Standard League. Dinosaur League? No PPR? That's crazy, bro. I love it. Need a flex? Wait, hold on. Do I need to go to the Super Chat? Did I miss a Super Chat question here? I feel like I did. Oh, I did. Okay, here we go. James DK. All right, here we go. Bill Monungai or Kenneth Walker PPR. Pearsall or Addison PPR. Okay, so for the running back question, I think I'm going to go JCM. So go ahead and give me Jacory right there. Seattle, man, that game. I mean, I guess Kenneth Walker could get a lot of work, but they just don't do that. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, right? Like it's supposed to be rainy conditions. Um, Seattle's a huge favorite, and that generally would mean good stuff for the running back. But honestly, I just think they're going to go to Charbonnet. I think they're going to go to Holani. This just, I don't know, man. Like they just don't give Kenneth Walker the ball. Even when they're leading, they don't give Kenneth Walker the ball, which is sad. Anyway, so I will say I will lean Jacory there. I think it should be a higher scoring game, a lot more touchdown exposure as well. So yeah, give me Jacory, and then for the receiver, I'm gonna take Ricky Pearsall, man. Like I I think he's, I know this sounds crazy. I think he's due. I think Ricky Pearsall is due. Look, Tennessee allows the second highest completion rate to outside wide receivers, right? 9.84 yards per pass attempt to outside. That ranks as the second worst in the NFL as well, right? So what are we talking about here with Tennessee Titans defense? They give up a high percentage in terms of completions, and they give up chunk plays to the outside. All of that, I think, fits perfectly well with Pearsall. And to be honest, dude, I know he's done nothing in the 3 games he's been back, but at some point they got to get him activated. And I wonder if this is the exact perfect spot to get him activated in this ball game too. By the way, if they're blowing him out, I know they're going to run this football, but I wouldn't be surprised to see, Pearsall out there trying to get some of the rust off. Sure, why not? I like Pearsall a lot, to be honest with you. I'm going to go Jacory and Pearsall right there, man. So, anyways, good luck to you. Okay, this is from, I think I missed this one, didn't I? I did. Do. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm here. Omarion, Devin Neal, Judkins, pick 2. I am gonna say we're playing Judkins, and I want to play Devin Neal. Look, I could get burned by Omarion Hampton because he's just a good player, but again, I still think he's coming back from injury. I still think it's a 50-50 split. Offensive line woes, bad matchup. All that stuff makes me feel like, can we at least get something from Devin Neal, who, by the way, just dominant in terms of snap share, playing over 70% of the snaps, man. Devin Neal, they just leaning on him quite a bit. And then Judkins, same thing. I think he'll play over 70% of the snaps as well. So let's get it going. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Okay, Guy. Okay, you're in trouble. Two quarterback league, tight end premium. You got to start 4 between Hunt, Montgomery, Pollard, Corum, Gesicki, Pittman, Keenan Allen. Well, I want to play Keenan Allen, I think, for sure, just because, again, Quentin Johnston's out. Keenan Allen will be the primary outside guy. I think he will get peppered with targets here. By the way, this could be another good situation for a run to Gadsden if they don't keep Gadsden into block. So I don't know. We'll see. So if I'm starting 4, let's start there with Keenan. I want to take Pittman out, I think. Again, I'm not trusting the Rivers quarterback experience. So tight end premium, I guess we can go Gesicki here. High scoring game, Baltimore, decent. So I'll go Gesicki, Keenan. So we got 1, 2. Do I want to play Kareem Hunt? Probably not. David Montgomery. Again, we're kind of sort of leaning against here. And I think I will play Pollard though. I'll play the hot hand. San Francisco, I don't think is they're not shut down by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, let me by the way, San Francisco gives up they're about middle of the pack in regards to fantasy points allowed to running backs. And you know what else I like, dude? They give up a lot of production through the air. They've given up the most receptions per game to the running back position. So what are we thinking here? San Francisco, big lead. They got to check it down. They're going to throw it a lot. Pollard's going to see some work out of the backfield. Yeah, man, 100%. Give me Pollard. So we got Pollard. We got Keenan Allen. We got Gesicki. I need one more. Oh, my God. So this is a disgusting group, man. It's funny that you told me 2 QB league. Like there's no QB in here. All right, cool. If I'm going with the fourth one, ay. Okay, give me Pittman. I guess I got to go Pittman of this group, man. Pittman, Hunt, or Corum. Hunt's a backup in a bad matchup. Corum is a backup as well. It's funny they keep talking about Corum, man. Like, to me, I think it's interesting. He's just been hyper efficient with the touches that he's had. You know what? Hold on. Back up. Let me talk myself into Corum here because the Rams are a huge favorite, right? I think. Am I mistaken here? I think they're a big favorite though. Let me look at my matchups here. Where are they at? LA Rams. Where are you at? Come on. Show yourself. Oh, Detroit. Sorry, not a huge favorite. My bad. But it is a 55.5 point total. It's the highest of the year. That is a huge total. So go ahead and give me Corum. I think you get decent touchdown exposure here. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with it. Aries, the god of war. We appreciate you jumping into the chat. Full PPR. Need one running back, 2 flex. Ramondre. Yep, I like him. Kenneth Walker. You need one running back and 2 flex. Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, Devin Singletary, or Luther Burden. I can take Luther Burden out. I think I'm going to play. I get to pick 3 of these running backs. That's not bad. I'll go Ramondre, Kenneth Walker, 1, 2, and then give me Devin Singletary. So Ramondre, Kenneth Walker, Devin Singletary is what I kind of like. Ramondre is against the Bills, and the Bills' rush defense is arguably bottom 5. Not the worst in the league, but bottom 5 certainly in the NFL right now. Kenneth Walker, game script looks really good against Indianapolis. Again, I know I was talking about, I don't want to play Kenneth Walker. But of this group, I think I might want to play Kenneth Walker. Okay, let me just say this. I definitely want to play Ramondre and Singletary for sure. And then Kenneth Walker or Chuba. Kenneth Walker or Chuba. Man, torn on this one. I am. Kenneth Walker or Chuba. Man, where are we going, y'all? Chat, where am I going here with this one? Okay, when I look at the point totals here for New Orleans with an estimated point total of 19 points scored. And meanwhile, Seattle has an estimated points scored of 28. Yeah, we're going Kenneth Walker. We'll go Kenneth Walker there. Although I do think that it might be a lower scoring game just because Seattle can ease up. Indianapolis is helpless offensively, and it's going to be in like, I don't know about how much rain, but there's going to be rain. There's like torrential flooding in that area, in that part of Washington right now, which is crazy, right? So I think there's definitely going to be rain. They'll keep it on the ground. I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead and give me Ramondre, Kenneth Walker, and Devin Singletary right there. All right, Red Sea saying power levels are incredible. Joe Burrow or Dart at quarterback. I'm going to go Joe Burrow. Burrow goes crazy against Baltimore. Just goes absolutely crazy against Baltimore. And it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. So go ahead and give me Burrow. I feel pretty confident in that too, by the way. Swift, Addison, Jaden Higgins at flex, half PPR. Give me Swift. Yeah, I feel pretty confident in that one as well. All right, let's go. But where are we at? Okay. James, you're spamming the chat, brother. Devin Neal, Judkins, Hampton, half PPR, KW. Okay, I think I answered that question. Okay. Richard Traukia, 1 point PPR, Fannin or Debo, Gainwell or Jalen Warren. Fannin, yeah, give me Fannin. And then of Gainwell or Jalen Warren, honestly, man, I'm feeling it a little bit with Gainwell. I think I'm leaning Gainwell here. So go ahead and give me Gainwell and Fannin. Guy, DeMercado. I feel like we answered this one, though. DeMercado, Keenan Allen, Troy Franklin Spears. I guess I need 3 from there. You need 3? By the way, where are we at with Pat Bryant? Let me look this up. Pat Bryant. Where are we at? Is he playing today? Is he? I guess we don't know yet. What's going on here? There's no updates on Pat Bryant. What's going on here? I don't get it. No updates on Pat Bryant. Yeah, what's up with that? I guess he doesn't need to be out officially. Did he practice? Okay. Broncos. What happened here with Pat Bryant? Am I tripping? Why is there no updates on Pat Bryant, man? Like, what's up? Oh, he's out. Okay, Pat Bryant's out. My bad. Okay, so he's out. So Pat Bryant's out. So we like Troy Franklin. A lot more this week. So give me Keenan Allen, Troy Franklin, and Brian Thomas Jr. Are we overthinking it with BTJ? I know he's been a disappointment on the season, but he had a strong showing last week, and he'll be fine. Give me Keenan Allen, Troy Franklin, and Brian Thomas Jr. I feel good about that. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's go. Okay, so we go back to Aries, the God of War. Did I get this one already? I feel like I did. Need one tight end, one running back, two flex. Okay, maybe I didn't. I don't know. One tight end, one running back, and two flex. Tracy or Ramondre or Travion Henderson. Give me Travion Henderson. And you need two flexes. Not trusting Roma Dunze at all. Not trusting Darren Waller at all. Give me Tyrone Tracy and Brenton Strange of that group. Good luck to you, man. Ronnie Daniel, Fannin or Gesicki? Fannin by a million miles. Gesicki played like 40% of the snaps, man. I know he put it on the stat sheet, but dude, he played like 40% of the snaps. I cannot trust a tight end. Well, let me put it to you this way: we can play him as a sleeper, but Fannin's a must start. Let me just put it to you that way. Guy, Herbert or Dart? Oh, Dart by a million miles. Easy call. Kells 22, Trey Hendrickson, Rico Dowdle, Tyrone Tracy. I got to pick one. Oh, hell no. If I'm picking one, I'll go Travion Henderson. Buffalo's run defense is, again, arguably one of the 5 worst in the NFL. Full point PPR, one wide receiver, one flex from Chelsea. Jacoby, Wandale, one wide receiver, one flex. Well, you got to play Jacoby. He's a must start. Okay, so we're playing Jacoby, and you got to play Wandale. So there you go. Easy. Yeah, easy. Jacoby and Wandale, easy. Start Strange, Goddard, or pick up Likely. Dude, do we get crazy here? Let's pick up Likely and play him. Screw it. Let's go. I mean, I probably like Goddard of the best of the bunch, to be honest with you. Goddard's probably the play, but man, listen, no risk it, no biscuit. Let's go. I want to play Likely. I'm going to say Likely. Bold call, bold prediction. Likely outscores them both. Goddard's probably the smarter play, though. But yeah, give me Likely. Kells, Goff or Dart. Oh man, I cannot sit Goff in a game that has a 55.5 point total. I can't sit Goff, man. In a revenge game too. I don't know if that means anything, but it might. Yeah. Go ahead and give me Goff. I'll chase that down. Goff. Why not? Okay. Kells again. Jake Ferguson, Waller, Likely. Pick one. I'm gonna pick. Like I said, I'm going Likely, baby. Let's go Likely. Cincinnati's been getting absolutely hammered by defenses or tight ends on their defense, man. Like, go ahead and give me Likely. Derek Buck. Let me go back to this one real quick. I will say Jake Ferguson's the safest. Likely, though, give it to me. Like I said, you got the rocket ship fire. Yeah, we're going to the moon, baby. We're going to the moon. Derek Buck, Dak or Purdy? I'm going most likely I'm going Dak here. Let me look at the matchup data real quick. But I'm like 90% sure I'm going Dak, even though Minnesota has been tougher against quarterbacks. They have allowed the third fewest fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. Who have they faced, though, man? They got the Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota experience. They got Darnold. Jordan Love, Caleb. Lamar got him for 16.5. Goff got him for 19. Herbert got him for 26. Hurts got him for 24. Even Dylan Gabriel got him for 16. It's interesting. This is really interesting. I feel like they have definitely made their bones and definitely improved their FPA against guys that can't handle pressure. Dak can handle pressure. Dak can handle the pressure. So I will take Dak. Purdy, I think, is really interesting too. Tennessee's been obviously a much better matchup against Tennessee. I worry a little bit that it might be a little bit of a blowout. And are we going to get 3/4 of Purdy versus one full game of Dak in a bad matchup? I'll say Dak. I'll still go Dak here. Tyler Warren or Likely? That's crazy. Phillip Rivers, I think, will pepper Tyler Warren just because I don't think he can get the ball out, but still, I want to chase it all with Likely. I'm going to put all my chips in on Likely, man, and hope he gets it done. That's my thought process here. I think Likely can get it done, and Likely will get it done. Let's go. Brendan Ashton, Travis Kelce or Brenton Strange? I think Brenton Strange for me is a much safer pick. Travis Kelce, still strong though. I'm going to go Brenton Strange because I think it's going to be a higher scoring game, a little bit more, ping-ponging back and forth. And let's see if they can get let's see if they get it going. Look, are the Jets going to be good? No, the Jets aren't going to be good. But that being said, the funny thing is I'm actually not as worried about the quarterback position as I think other people are. From what I saw, I'm not that worried about the Jets quarterback situation here. Look, Brady Cook, I thought has really decent arm strength, and he has an ability to get out the pocket too. I'm not saying he's going to be gangbusters. I'm not saying like, oh, you got to play Brady Cook or anything like that. But I think he has the requisite arm strength to actually get the ball out to wherever the hell it needs to get out to. And yeah, like Jacksonville's defense is better than advertised, but they're not shut down by any stretch of the imagination, right? So I don't, I think they'll keep up is the point that I'm making here. I think they'll keep up. At the very least, Brenton Strange. Give me Brenton Strange right here. I'm really worried about that offensive line and how low scoring that game might be. All right, Chelsea. Full PPR. I got to pick this up. I got to pick up the pace, y'all. Full PPR, need one in a flex. Tyrone Tracy, Pollard, Stevenson, Pittman. One running back. Give me Tyrone Tracy. In the flex, give me Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, Stevenson coin flip, man. Real coin flip right there, but I'll take Pollard. Give me Tyrone Tracy and Pollard. USA Rasa. Good morning. Purdy or Goff today in a points per completion league? Oh, Goff. We're going Goff, 100%. Not even close. Brendan Ashton. Michael Wilson against the Texans defense. I love the question format, full name and matchup. I love it. Christian Watson against the Broncos defense. For wide receiver 2, give me Michael Wilson. I know it's a terrible matchup, but man, Michael Wilson has been dang near unstoppable as a PPR option. Rick Stark. Oh, we already got this question. Okay, cool. Aries, Purdy or Mahomes? Oh man, I can't believe we're at this point, but give me Brock Purdy. Give me Brock Purdy. Mahomes, just like I said, the offensive, they're down 3 starters on the offensive line. Man, I don't know. That's concerning to me. Big Anderson, Hampton versus BTJ and half point. BTJ. For me, BTJ. I'm really worried about this matchup against Kansas City. I think it might be low scoring. The offensive line is obviously in shambles. Kansas City's defense is really good, so I will take Hampton. I will take BTJ. Against a Jets defense that, obviously not very good at defending right now. So go ahead and give it to me. I think he hits on a big play or 2. Start 2, JT. Yep, we're starting him. Hampton and Swift. Give me JT and Swift. I don't think that one's too hard. The Bros, 679. I need a flex, full PPR. Should I start Jefferson, Wandale? You want to start Wandale. Who is KR? I don't have a damn clue who KR is, brother. Um, Terry? Are you talking about Terry McLaurin? I'm assuming you're talking about Terry McLaurin. You need a flex? You need one flex in full PPR. In full PPR, give me Wandale. I'm trying to figure out who the hell KR is, dog. That's just confusing me. But yeah, I think in full point PPR, give me Wandale ahead of Jefferson, which is just sad to say, bro. It's so sad. But yeah, I'll take Wandale. I'll take the floor and I'll take that ceiling combo. Cody Stell, TJ Hawkinson or Strange? Oh, Strange, easily. Hawkinson is no. We're out of there with Hawkinson, man. Okay, Michael Benable. Pick 2. Hampton at KC. First of all, I love the question format. Swift versus Cleveland. Rico at New Orleans. I am going to pick 2. I am going to pick Swift and Rico, I think. Yep. Swift and Rico. Let's get it done. Cody, you're back. One flex. Travion Henderson. Oh, Travion Henderson. One wide receiver. Michael Wilson, Cortland Sutton. Michael Wilson. Easy calls. Easy call for me. Look, Michael Wilson, bad matchup. Don't care. Too much volume. Travion Henderson, beautiful matchup against Buffalo. Let's get it going. DeRay led. I don't know. You need 2 in full PPR. Neil, JCM. We're playing JCM. McMillan and Manungai. We're playing JCM. McMillan? Am I tripping? Jalen McMillan? Who are we talking about here? McMillan? I must be tripping because I cannot think of a McMillan. I need 2 in full PPR. Give me Neil and JCM. I think I'll go Neil and JCM there. Okay. Master J. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Need 1 full PPR. Debo Pittman likely. In 1? Okay. Give me likely. Yeah, give me likely right here, and we're hoping that he goes crazy. 2 running backs. By the way, I just don't like Debo as much with Terry McLaurin back. I don't think that's a hot take, right? I like likely right here. Okay, Vinco. 2 running backs needed. You're playing JT. I don't care. I know Phillip Rivers back there, but we're still playing JT, man. Hampton and Swift. Give me Swift. I'll take Swift over Hampton. Alvin Kamara is on my bench, has some soft matchups for week 16, 17. Darren Waller does as well. I have McBride. Okay. Would you drop Kamara for Waller? No. Dude, Waller is a part-time tight end. I mean, shoot, they were working in Greg Dulcich. Would you drop Kamara for Waller? I don't mind dropping Kamara. I'd probably still hold. I mean, who cares about Darren Waller? You have McBride too. Like, you're good. You're never playing Waller. Okay. Listen, I don't hate dropping Kamara. I just wouldn't drop him for Waller, is the point that I'm making. ETW Burn, Travion. Yep, you're playing him. You need 2. Okay, so you're playing Travion. Kyron Williams and McLaurin. Yeah, you're playing Kyron too. Great matchup. Let's go. Kyron, Travion. Easy. Key West. Key West homes for sale. All right. I like it. Let's go. Where are we at right now? Oh, my God. We got 17 minutes. I love it. Let's go. I think I'm making some time here. PPR flex spot, Manungai or Theo Johnson. Man, Jackson Dart loves him some Theo Johnson. I am going to go. Oh, man. Let me pull up some stats here, man, because I'm not 100% sure. Okay, Cleveland. Okay, Manungai. They have given up. They're middle of the pack in terms of fantasy points allowed to running backs. Better than average in terms of yards per carry. As a matter of fact, 8th best. Yards before carry, top 10. Explosive run rate, top 6. Run stuff rate, best in the NFL. Damn, okay. That being said, Tony Pollard went absolutely crazy. CMC had a good game. Ashton Ginty had a great game. Derrick Henry had a great game. Breece Hall had a great game. Bro, what? Okay. I think we're okay with Manungai. Let me go ahead and give me Manungai. Give me Manungai here. Again, the numbers are interesting, but overall running backs have done well. Terminal sarcasm. I freaking love this screen name. Okay, PPR, Ramondre or Vidal as my running back two. Give me Ramondre. Better matchup against Buffalo, and they're both in a 50-50 split, in my opinion. Okay, flex spot. Pick two. Same team? Okay, Ramondre, Vidal, Kincaid, Helm, Burden. I don't know if this is the same team or not, brother. Okay, if it is the same team, I still want to play Kincaid. Helm? Bro, did I miss something with Chig? Is Chig out? Maybe I'm tripping. Is Chig out? Titans injury report. Is Chig out? No, he's playing. I knew I didn't miss that. We can't play Helm if Chig is in. I like Helm a lot. Listen, I like Helm. I think he's going to be. I don't know what happens with Chig this offseason, but if they give Gunnar Helm, I'm getting distracted. I like Gunnar Helm though. But again, if I'm picking two, give me Ramondre. In order, it would be Ramondre, Kincaid, Burden, Vidal. That would be my order. Okay. Andrew Jackson. Like the president? Like the president? Manungai, Devin Neal, Brees Hall. Pick one. I'm picking Brees Hall. Give it to me. Don't care. Don't care about the quarterback. Brees Hall's too good. Let's go. I mean, shoot. Yeah. What the hell? Why not? I think Brees should be fine. He's got no injury designation as well. I know he was dealing with a little bit of that knee, but I just want to double check. If full practice on Friday, no injury designation, I think he's good to go. Give me Brees Hall. I am not Jim, but sometimes they call me Jim because my name is James. But Joe Bartel, I will try to fill in nicely for Jim here. Oh, well, good luck to him. And yeah, good luck to you, pal. Okay, Nancy, Manderfeld, Pat Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. It's not me. Can't be talking to me. I am not the GOAT of fantasy football. I'm the sleeper king. Don't get me wrong. I'm the sleeper king, but I'm not the GOAT. Pat Mahomes or Trevor Lawrence. I think I'm going Trevor Lawrence here. I feel pretty confident about that. Taking on the Jets. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go Trevor Lawrence. David Pillsbury, Brissett, Sanders, or Herbert. Man, I hate all of them. I hate them all. I'll go Brissett. Brissett has been dang near unstoppable. They should be trailing, which will encourage passing the football. And like I said, Brissett, even in bad game scripts, even in all of it, like he just puts it up. So I will say Brissett. Terrible matchup, worst matchup on the board against Houston. But Shador, I'm not trusting. Shoot, the coaching staff doesn't trust Shador. Let's be real here. And Justin Herbert behind that offensive line in a low-scoring game against Kansas City. No thanks, man. I'll pass. Manderfeld, Mahomes, Trevor, full PPR. I don't think the full PPR point matters. But again, I think I answered that one. Give me Trevor. David Pillsbury, one flex from Singletary, Vidal, Jordan Mason, Jerry Jeudy. I am going to look up. I am going to look up a couple stats here, but I feel like it's interesting. It's interesting all the Aaron Jones concern here because he had a full practice on Friday and sounds like he's going to be good to go. If he is good to go, I don't think we play Jordan Mason, right? Jerry Jeudy, I think, is a playable asset for sure. You know what? As a matter of fact, am I going Jerry Jeudy here? Chicago. Let me give you one stat here on Chicago. Hold on. I got a stat here for you. Chicago against outside wide receivers because that is where Jerry Jeudy plays, y'all. I know last year he played, I want to say 50-50 in the slot, but this year he's playing almost exclusively outside. He leads the team right now in snap share, all that kind of stuff, man. So if there's one receiver we trust in Cleveland, it's going to be Jerry Jeudy with Shador Sanders. And Chicago has been below average in terms of defending outside wide receivers. They just gave up a 25 spot to Watson, a 35 spot to A.J. Brown. Both Jay Jettas and Addison went for double digits. Even Darius Slayton went for 13. I think we're in a good spot here. Go ahead and give me Jerry Jeudy. Let's go. Profit picks. Dak, Burrow, or Lamar. We're definitely going Burrow here. Burrow owns the Baltimore Ravens, man. He goes freaking crazy. I'll go Burrow. Delajeezy, and by the way, it's not like Baltimore's defense is good this year. So give me Burrow. Delajeezy, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Ginty, Neal. You need to start 3 in full PPR. I want to start Ginty against Philadelphia, man. No Jalen Carter. They've been getting gashed on the ground. So give me Ginty. I just like the fact that Devin Neal plays like 75% of the snaps. So I'm going to go Neal. So we got 1, 2. And I don't want to play Odunze. I'm not that interested in Hampton, as I've mentioned. I think I'm going Dowdle here. Maybe I go Debo. Full point PPR. I think if we're going to chase a little upside, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go Ginty, Neal, and Debo here. So I think Neal gives you a decent floor. I don't want to go another floor play in Dowdle. That's boring. So give me Ginty, Neal, and Debo. I think that's a decent combination of floor ceiling in terms of how we're playing that. So give me floor ceiling combination, Ginty, Neal, and Debo. I hope, man, if Hampton goes crazy, I'm going to feel really, really bad. But again, he's in a 50-50 split. Bad O-line, bad matchup. Terminal sarcasm. PPR pick 3, Devontae Adams. Yeah, I think Adams is going to be fine, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, dude. But yeah, I think he'll be fine. In the high-scoring game, dude, I don't know how you sit down Devontae Adams. Okay, so we're going to go Devontae Adams. I like Pearsall, too. Burden in that weather, no thanks. Odunze, no, not interested. Keaton Mitchell. Can I drop Garrett Wilson in redraft? I don't think so. Isn't Garrett Wilson supposed to come back pretty dang soon? I'm not going to look this up. But yeah, look, if I'm picking 3, look, give me Devontae Adams. I think he plays. Give me Ricky Pearsall. And, oh my gosh. Okay, I guess if I'm picking 3, I got to go Burden here. I don't think, Odunze's not right, man. Odunze is not right. So give me Adams, Pearsall, Burden. Okay. I did Shuck over Sanders and Caleb. You agree? Shuck over Sanders and Caleb. Ooh. Spicy. Playing Shuck. Delajeezy. I don't know, man. Look, Carolina has allowed the 8th fewest fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. Are we sure about this one here, pal? Because again, and by the way, when you look at the over-unders too, not great. 40.5. 40.5. New Orleans anticipated to score implied total of 19. That's not very good. I don't know, man. I know Caleb has been a little bit in the wilderness here, but I don't hate Chicago. The weather concern is very concerning. Shoot, I might think that Shuck is actually the bottom of these 3, to be honest with you. If I'm ranking these three, I think I am going Shador, Caleb, Shuck. If I'm ranking them. If you're that concerned about the weather, though, I don't blame you. I do not blame you in regards to the weather. Let me look up the latest weather forecast here in regards to Cleveland, Chicago. So it's supposed to just be insanely cold, right? So like it feels like -6. That is crazy cold. The wind gusts of 15 miles per hour, that's not bad. It's not great. It's just not bad. But there's no snow, there's no moisture. It's clear. So Shador, who's played at Colorado, I'm assuming has played in cold weather before. I'll go Shador of this group, man. J Red, good afternoon. Oh my gosh, we're almost there, dude. In a PPR, need 2 flex. Jaden Higgins, Michael Wilson. I'm playing Michael Wilson, Jalen Warren, and Likely. Give me Michael Wilson and Likely for all the reasons I talked about. Aiden Gallegos, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Brissett, Rodgers, or Shador? Give me Brissett. If I had to rank them, I'm going Brissett, Shador, Rodgers. That's how I would rank it for me. So yeah, give me Brissett right there. James Smith, Sutton, or Justin Jefferson? God, you need to swing for the fences. in a points league. Wow, old school. I kind of like it. I'm gonna go Justin Jefferson, even though I hate it. I'm still going Justin Jefferson. Let's go. Who's the better flex, Dowdle or Adonai Mitchell? I think Mitchell gives you better ceiling, but I think I probably like Dowdle here just a little bit more. Mitchell, he's got a lot of variance here. He's got a backup quarterback, rookie undrafted quarterback. Good matchup, though. Jacksonville's giving up a lot of points to outside wide receivers. Let me just put it to you this way. In my big money league, I am playing Mitchell. I don't have Dowdle, but I am playing Adonai Mitchell as a flex just because I have to. 14-team league, and I've got some optimism there, but I do think that Dowdle's probably the better floor-ceiling combination. Steven Grease, you need help with one of your RB spots, 2 flex spots, Devin Neal, Addison. Okay, so I want to play Devin Neal and 2 flex spots. So, wait, is that Brees Hall? Yeah, dude, we're playing Brees Hall. Come on now. We're playing Brees Hall, and I will play Kenneth Walker if I'm chasing some points here. Give me Devin Neal, Hall, Kenneth Walker. James Smith, Mahomes, Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, 4-point passing league. Give me Trevor Lawrence. The rain situation there, and I think it's going to be a blowout in Seattle. I'm not really interested in Darnold. Mahomes is interesting, but again, offensive line absolutely in shambles. So I'll take Trevor Lawrence. Mo Diesel. Rank these in order, half PPR. Kelsey, Schultz, Gadsden, Theo, Gesicki. Gesicki's last for me, relatively easily. I will take number 1, I'll take Kelsey. Number 2, I'll take Gadsden. Number 3, I'll take Theo, Schultz, and then Gesicki. Jace Gordon, pick 2. Brees Hall. Yep. Jordan Addison. Yep, that's it. Brees Hall, Jordan Addison. I feel pretty confident in that one. Connor B. LaRose, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Give me Likely, 100%, and give me Tracy. Yep, I like Likely there, man. I'm chasing the moon here with Likely. I could be wrong. In my opinion, you should start T-Law. Yep, we're simpatico there, brother. Terminal Sarcasm, PPR, just grab JCM. Am I playing JCM, Stevenson, or Tracy? Yeah, we're playing JCM. You need 2. Oh, if you need 2, give me JCM and Stevenson. JCM. Yeah, I'll take JCM and Stevenson. Then would you start leftover running back over Judy or Pearsall? Yeah, I would play Tracy over Pearsall probably. Judy's interesting to me. I think I'd probably play Judy over them both though. Okay. Keon Gunderson, Dart or Hurts? Man, I can't believe we're at this point with Jalen Hurts. Where are we at with Jalen Hurts, man? God, I want to say Hurts. I think I will stick with Hurts. Las Vegas is just not good defensively. Yeah, stick with Hurts. Dart is very interesting, but stick with Hurts. Okay, we got them. Okay, we got some stuff in here. Parla Greco. The big days here. Monungai versus Cleveland. I like that. Charb versus Indy. I like that. BTJ versus Jets. I like that. Oh, man. I like all three. Okay, I'm picking 1. I am going to pick... screw it. Give me BTJ against the Jets. Give it to me. I'm going to chase that upside. I think he hits on a big play. Keon Gunderson, Dowdle, Singletary, Monungai, full PPR. Dowdle, Singletary, Monungai. Oh my gosh. Give me. Screw it. Give me Monungai. Would you sit Hall and play Neal this week? I would not. No. I want to chase those points. Taking a huge risk this week, flexing both Adonai Mitchell, Chim DK. Is it too risky? I mean, I don't know what the rest of your lineup looks like, but damn, that is a huge risk. I think one of those guys would be fine. Both of those guys got me a little nervous. I like Adonai over Chim DK, though. Olave or Trey Henderson? Ooh. Okay, if you're going for the moon, if you're chasing just pure upside, Henderson. Floor, Olave, easy. Boom. Mariota or Knicks? Oh, Mariota. Give me Mariota. Good luck to you. Hopefully I got you in time. PPR, Isaiah Likely or Theo Johnson? Isaiah Likely, easy call. Wandale, Ricky Pearsall. Wandale, easy call. Rico or Mike Wilson at flex. Give me Michael Wilson. Good luck to you. Michael Wilson, give it to me. Dart or Lamar, full PPR. I'm going Dart. Lamar's not running as much, man. I know that sounds crazy, but give me Jackson Dart. Lamar's just not running as much as we need him to be fantasy relevant. Chuba or Devontae Smith at the flex. Chuba or Devontae Smith? Oh, give me Devontae Smith. I know he didn't play that well, but give me Devontae Smith. All right, man, we're at it. Oh, God. I tried to burn through a bunch of questions there. I think I did okay, but golly, man, that was tough. That was tough. Okay. If I have other questions, I'll get to them. Sutton or DK? Sutton. Look, DK's a deep sleeper, but Sutton's a solid wide receiver too. Michael Wilson or Jacoby Myers? Jacoby Myers, we've got to play him. He's an automatic start. Pick one, Hampton, Neil Diggs. This is probably too late, but if I'm playing one, give me Diggs. I'll take Diggs. In a revenge game? He's going to go crazy, dude. Keon Gunderson, Amon-Ra still slightly injured. Yeah, I think he is, but I think he's going to play through it, brother. Okay, Kincaid or Tyler Warren? I want to play. I'm pretty sure I want to play Tyler Warren. I don't feel great about it, but I probably want to play Tyler Warren. Real Figo, Olave, or McMillan? Bro, am I tripping here? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about Jalen McMillan? Oh, Tet McMillan. Oh, my God. Dude, bro, like, where's my brain? We're talking about Tet McMillan. Damn. Okay. Dude, I apologize, man. Olave or McMillan? I would have said Tet. I love Tet. I just think he's so good. Aiden Gallegos, what's up, man? Good to see you again, pal. I know I'm late on this, dude. Shador Sanders, Chicago, Brissett, Houston. I think I answered this one though, so good, thank God. Okay, Rob Hensley, dude. I'm sorry, man. Should I pick up Likely and start over Parkinson? Yes, I would. I love Likely this week. I don't know why. Well, I know why. The matchup's too nice, dude. Full PPR. Yeah, it is going to be a crazy shootout. There's no question. Parkinson's in a great spot. In a great spot, man. Chemo. Thank you, Chemo. Chemo Sabe? Is that what it is? Chemo Sabe? Something like that? I don't know, man. Keon, I appreciate you, though, brother. I appreciate you, man. J Up. What a screen name. I don't know why this sounds so cool. J Up. Okay. Yeah, and I apologize. I missed this one entirely. 2 running backs, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Atta Harvey. Oh, man. I'm way too late on this one. Anyways, hey, guys. Yo, I got to go too, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys, man. I say this every single week, brother, man, but I apologize if I did not get to your comments or questions, bro. I try to get through it as fast as I can. Sometimes I just don't have the time, man. So, again, I appreciate everyone out there. I will see you guys here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, if y'all want to follow me on any of the social media handles at James D. Koh, I do a really good job of trying to answer as many questions as possible, whatever platform you're on. Twitter, Instagram, Threads. I'm on Blue Sky. It's all the same thing. I'm on YouTube, as a matter of fact. I'm on YouTube at James D. Koh. If you want to find me on any one of these platforms and reach out to me, shoot me a message. I will do my best to get back to you. And again, I do a pretty good job. Anyone who's followed me for a while knows that I go out of my way to try to answer as many questions as possible. Anyways, all right, man. We will see you guys here next week. We appreciate everyone out there. We'll see you. Peace. Remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams. All right, man. Later.